students, good afternoon. Here Sonu sir with a new video of class 8 SST or history portion, and in that our chapter 5 crafts and industries during colonial rule. And in that we have concluded in previous video up to page 55. And now we are taking page 56 of your course book, and our topic is economic drain of India. So students, here word drain means loot, plunder, or to make hollow something, to make something empty, to make something loosed. So that is why students, our economic drain or economic loot or plunder of our economy was there because of British, and students, they were taking our raw material in very less price and were sending their ready-made products in high price. By that, our Indian economy started losing, started getting lost, and this was mentioned by our Congress leader Dadabhai Naoroji. So student, Dadabhai Naoroji was member of United Kingdom Assembly, that means Britain Assembly. He was only Indian who was member of Assembly of Britain, but his opposition of Britain made him out from there, and finally he made his congressman against of British, and in the fight of freedom he had a prominent role in making of Congress and all things. So students, today we are reading about economic drain of India, and from your course book, Indian wealth and resources were drained out continuously. So students, this word I have been mentioned, drain means to steal something, to plunder something, to hollow something, to take out something just forcefully. So Indian wealth and resources were drained out continuously during the British rule. So it was continuous draining or plundering or looting of Indian wealth or economy in the time of British, and we see in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. There is a book of Dadabhai Naoroji, Poverty and Un-British Rule of India. So in this book he has mentioned all exploitation and drainages of British made by British of Indian, and which he identified as the cause of Indian poverty. And India was known as golden bird and a rich country, but exploitation and loot of British made India poor, and the reason of Indian poverty was only the economic drain which was led by British. And this is mentioned by Dadabhai Naoroji, our Congress founder of senior leader of Congress, and he mentioned in his book Economic Drain and Un-British Rule in India. And Dadabhai Naoroji also was known as old man of Congress for India. So he mentioned in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, he mentioned the exploitation of British, and he mentioned that it was the only cause that India became poor. So he devised the famous theory known as drain of wealth in his book. So in his book he devised the theory drain of wealth. So how British looted our country, how British looted and migrated our country's economy in their own, and how we, uh, you know, how we came on the step of poverty, on the misfortune of poverty. So it was only because of economic drain of India by British, by some commercial policies and other different policies of exploitation. And after that we see on page 56, I wish I knew. Students, during the Ahom reign in Assam, Muga silk is a quality of silk. Muga silk was one of the major items of export to Bengal, Bhutan and neighboring Khasi and Garo districts. The silk industry, particularly Muga silk, received great patronage of the Ahom rulers. So students, in Assam, if we talk about in varieties of silk, there is a Muga silk, and in that it was so costly. And if you see, Muga silk was exported in Bengal, Bhutan, and neighboring country like Khasi and Garo districts. The silk industry, particularly Muga silk, received great patronage of the Ahom rulers. So students, this thing is very important in our I knew. As I mentioned, some precious products, materials of our country like silk, cotton and so on was in export. And if we talk about Muga silk, was famous in Ahom, Assam, and they exported their Muga silk in nearby neighbor country in Bengal, Bhutan and Khasi and Garo districts. And the silk industry, particularly Muga silk, received great patronage of the Ahom rulers. And the Ahom rulers gave more patronage to the Muga silk because it was precious and good to sell and something good to wear also. Students, now we are talking about our next topic, decline of indigenous industry. So I mentioned earlier that indigenous means native. Native means thing of our own country. So how our own country's industries get declined. So we have to mention and we have to understand in this topic. Before the arrival of British, the indigenous industries flourished in India. So before the British arrived in India, there were some native industries, there were some Indian local industries which were flourished, which were earning most of them. But with the rise of colonial power, the traditional craftsperson and artisans were published into the darkness of misery. So students, the traditional craftsperson and artisans and weavers and all were in the hand of misery, in the hand of misfortune after coming of colonial rule. The reasons that played a major role behind the decline of the traditional industries in India under the British rule were these. And now we are going to discuss what were the major reasons by that Indian indigenous or native industries got declined. Now we are going to discuss. So in that, the first reason was British control of the Indian market. So students, as we have been discussed earlier, British, by the theory of mercantilism of British, they controlled whole Indian market because they purchased all raw materials from India. They even not allowed to Indian businessmen and traders to purchase more raw materials, except that they purchased more and more raw materials that no Indian or no other person can purchase, and they sold or export their products in their own country in very less price. They took their own products with them, and then they made their ready-made and polished and finished products and sent to India in high price. So that is why the total control of Indian market was in hand of British, and that was the most very reason that why our Indian market was controlled in British, and that is why the exploitation of indigenous industries and native industry was there. So the control of market was in the hand of British, and when I'm reading this topic, the British established control over the import and export of Indian commodities to serve their own economic interests. To fulfill their own economic or financial interests, British started control over the import and export of Indian commodities. So as we know, most of the business was in hand of British. That is why they started control over the import and export market of India, and by that they can regulate the commodity system and the market of India, and by that they can fulfill their economical interest. By that they can earn more and more money by receiving raw materials in less price and selling after finishing their products in high price, so they earn more and more money, and also earn more and more control over the Indian market. Tariffs and bans were imposed by the British government on the import of Indian textiles. So some tariffs means taxes on import for or export of goods. So some tariffs, some concessions were there, but those tariffs were not allowed. Taxes on import or export of goods. So if we talk about tariffs and bans were imposed by the British government on the import of Indian textiles. So if India wanted to import that finished textile products, which textile products had been collected from our Indian market and taken to Britain, and after finishing of that textile products, we were bound to purchase their products in high price. And then some bans and some tariffs, that means some taxes on import of that products was there, and some bans was there. Ban means some prohibition, some provision, some hindrance and obstacles. That means we were not able to purchase more and more product that we wanted. We can purchase or we can import only their products which were allowed by Britain, and there were some bans and tariffs and taxes which we had to pay. Only after paying their taxes we were able to import their products. So we were bound to less import in high price, we were bound to more export in less price. By that, the control over the Indian market was in the hand of British. And the Charter Act of 1813 ended the monopoly of trade of the East India Company and made the Indian market open to other traders. So there was Charter Act of 1813, and by that it was end of the monopoly of the trade of East India Company and made the Indian market open to the other traders. So in 1813 there was Charter Act. And by this Charter Act, the monopoly of Indian on Indian market of British was and other traders also were open to come in India and Indian market. Then we see, as a consequence, foreign goods flooded the Indian market, destroying the market for indigenous products. And so first only British were doing exploitation of our country, but after the Charter Act of 1813, all other trading companies and European trading companies were also allowed to come in India and do business. So by that we were exploiting in the hand of British firstly, but when the other different traders came in India, the Indian handmade products was in backside, and that all European products was in selling in front, and by that we lost our total control of selling in our indigenous products, our native products, and Britain imposed heavy duties even on the sale of Indian silk and calico. So if we were Indian businessmen, we had to pay more taxes in selling silk. And what is calico? Calico means a type of cotton cloth which is either plain white or unbleached. So some unbleached or some plain and white cotton and silk was in high good products of India, but Indian has to pay more taxes to sell silk and calico. Thus Britain initially controlled the Indian market through the East India Company and then through its free trade policy. So by East India Company and free trade policy for other European, so fully British controlled all Indian market and trade policy of our company or India. So by that, if we talk about in first reason, so it was the first reason that British control of the Indian market. That is why the decline of our indigenous factories or companies was there, or loss of our country, and by that we can understand that economic drain of India, then decline of indigenous industry, then British control of the Indian market. Students, in next video we will see our next topic, that uproar in England. So I have time, I can conclude this. So our next topic, uproar in England. During the 18th century there was discontentment among the British manufacturers of cloth regarding the huge demands for Indian cloth in England. So students, in 18th century there was discontentment among the British manufacturers of cloth regarding the huge demand for Indian cloth in England. So there was a huge demand of Indian cloth in England. That is why they therefore pressurized the British government to ban the import of Indian textiles. So firstly, as we know, the quality of our products, our silk and cotton, was good more compared than European clothes and silks and all things. So that is why the demand of our clothes and silk and cottons was more in Europe according or compared than the European clothes and silks. That is why European traders wanted to ban import of our Indian products in England. So what happens then? So in 1720 the British government had passed the Calico Act. So by that British had to pass an act of Calico Act, and which banned the import of printed cotton cloth into England. So that calico, which was finished cotton cloth, which was imported from India, was banned in 1720 by an act, Calico Act, and moreover high duties were imposed on other types of Indian clothes that were imported by Britain. So some clothes were banned which were especially in sale in Britain, Indian product like calico and cotton and silk, and some products, despite of ban to them, Britain levied more taxes on that products, by which it was hard to sell in their country. Then moreover high duties were imposed on the types of Indian clothes that were imported by Britain. Subsequently the calico printing industry in Britain was established under the British government. Thus the demand for Indian clothes decreased and the Indian textile industry suffered great losses. So then England established an calico printing industry, and by that they purchased raw material and made that product in their country, and by that the Indian products demand get losses and Indian textile industry suffered great losses, and by that our Indian textile industry or cloth industry suffered more loss. So students, I have concluded 4 topics today: economical drain of India, decline of indigenous industries, British control of the Indian market, and uproar in England. So students, we will get new topic in next video, beginning of the industrial revolution. And till now, if there is any question, you can ask on my WhatsApp number. And in homework, you have to write about Calico Act and Calico printing industry of England. Okay students, till then, have a nice day. Thank you.